guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! I'm YouTube famous now. I wanted to like pick a song for us to sing. This is part 2 of the Emilia Fart interview. I so bad want to say your name now because I know your real name.
Don't say it!
No, I feel like it's like I know the secret. I'm not good with secrets, but I won't tell. Okay. What song should we sing? This Little Light of Mine? No.
No.
You Are My Sunshine?
No.
Don't pick a song. Friday.
Gotta get down on Friday.
Okay, so I wanted to do 2-part interview with her. Let's just get down and dance.
Okay.
I was like, what should we, I said, what are your plans for after this? She's like, well, I've got plans later, but she's going to meet up with Shane. So, but I said, what do you want to do? Or what are you doing after this? And she was like, well, we should just hang and go get some food or something.
Yeah.
Pizza?
Yeah.
I'm so hungry for pizza. But I wanted to do a 2-part interview. And I was asking her, I was like, what are things you want to be asked?
Yeah.
And she didn't really know.
I don't know. What's tea? I want to give tea.
What's tea? I think like the biggest, if I had to like see it from a tea point of view.
Yeah, or like a viewer's perspective or something.
Do you think that people think this is all fake?
Some people do. Some people think that like when I do I do this character Ashlyn where I'm normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is
What's normal?
Yeah, exactly.
We actually talked about that earlier.
We did, yeah.
Like what's different from, like what's weird and what's normal? Do you like those words?
Yeah. I don't have an issue with those words, but they're not real.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some people think that when I'm being this normal character Ashlyn, that's who I really am, or I'm trying to transition into becoming normal, or
you just addressed that in your video you did.
Mm-hmm. Some people seemingly really just like don't think that I actually dress like this, which it's just clothes. Like it's.
Yeah, I said, how many of these do you have at home?
Yeah, 12.
And I said, is there one that is your favorite?
It's of the moment. So right now I really like this, an emerald green one that I have. I can't wear it right now because I got it, it's covered in poo. I don't want to get into it, but I did hang out with Rebecca Black and I was covered in poo, unaware. Dog feces.
Is that her next song?
Yeah.
Covered in poo.
Emilia Fart is covered in animal feces.
I kept on touching like her knee earlier. I kept on touching her knee earlier when we were talking, and there's like her pocket has shifted now, but she has this huge pocket. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. What is that?
Let's see what's inside.
Oh, are we gonna do? Oh my God, what's in my purse?
Yeah.
You should do a what's in my pocket.
What's in my pocket? Okay, ready? Gum.
Confession number 1.
Is this interesting?
Confession number 1. Gum.
Okay, wait. Phone.
I go, I love your phone cover, and she goes, I like texture.
Yeah, it's important.
Is there anything in here?
Another fan.
Wallet. Oh my God. Have you ever shown your driver's license?
I don't have a driver's license. That's my health card. Oh, don't show it because my name.
I'm not going to show it. Can I just pull it out and look at the picture?
Yeah.
You guys, I just have to say that her health card is the white eyeshadow, her hair up in a Heisler ponytail, a feather boa, and the orange tunic.
Yeah.
True story.
They made me take off the boa, but they left
I love it. And she's like this. Okay, there's so much fun things in here.
There's more.
So much fun things. You have to have your gold things here. She's got her Kylie lip deal going on.
Okay, wait, I have something exciting.
This phone is heavy.
Somewhere. Oh.
I thought that was Janis Joplin. I was like, she has a picture of, can I show your home screen?
Yeah.
I was like, she has a picture of Janis Joplin with a cat on her home screen. It's you. What is that? I like texture too. Where does one just buy a miniature hand?
Oh, you know, you gotta have
the miniature hand store?
Inside sources.
Is there a miniature hand store?
I don't know what store I got this at.
I love it.
But it's changed my life.
And how?
Okay, well, I just like props.
Okay.
So anytime you're feeling awkward, there's a lull.
I said and how.
If there's a lull in conversation, you're feeling awkward, you're just like, oh, exactly. Like I said, like, sometimes my grandma likes to talk about how she really wants to die and like the Grim Reaper is gonna come. It's hard to process those moments, and it's hard to, what do you say to that? That is when I would suggest bust out a prop. Grandma says, I really want to die. I wish the Grim Reaper would come. You're like, nice.
Speaking of, on your confession videos, which I love, I know what you're going to say about this already, but how honest are the confessions?
They're all true.
Every single one.
Every single confession is 100% true. 1,000% true.
Okay. So I was showing them to Alex, my husband, the other day.
Yeah.
And there was one, I can't remember what it was, it had something to do with the toilet. And he was like, oh my God. He started laughing so hard because he doesn't really know your videos. Mm-hmm. He watches like, so my husband's from Venezuela and he watches all of these like, this one guy, I don't know what his name is, but it's all in Spanish. And he just laughs his ass off and I have no idea what's going on. But was there a confession about something in a toilet? One time something fell in a toilet and
I'm sure. There's a lot of like, I honestly now thinking back on like stuff that I've said, I 100% cringe.
What's the number one confession you wish you hadn't said?
Well, it's not even that I wish I hadn't said. I think it's just my humor has changed a little bit in that like, I thought it was really funny to talk about things that I've put up my vagina, which I still like, I don't like, you know what, it's fine. I like being honest, but now I do cringe because I just don't find that funny anymore. Okay. Like it's true.
Why not? Why don't you find it funny?
I don't know. I think I'm just becoming more and more repressed, which isn't great. But like, oh well.
But I heard a rumor. You want to talk about tea, drama? Mm-hmm. I heard a rumor in talking about being repressed. Mm-hmm. Do you know where I'm going? Mm-hmm. That there might be a special someone in your life.
I don't know. Maybe.
But more will be. Look what she's doing with the hand.
Yeah, no, but this is my go-to.
She's like doing. Okay.
This is my go-to thing.
So there is possibly there's possibly maybe, hypothetically, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Maybe somebody.
Allegedly there might be somebody special in my life.
But you feel pretty strongly about this person because we talked.
Yeah.
So there might be more revealed soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's for you.
There's reasons why it's awkward for me to talk about it, but I'm me and I have to talk about everything, so I'm going to.
This is what I think people don't understand, okay? Sometimes, well, I shouldn't say people don't understand. I don't know what people think. I don't know what, what I think I missed at first about you was that your videos for you are an artistic expression of letting people know what's going on with you. Mm-hmm. So like, when we were talking about that, and I said, well, you're going to talk about it, and you're like, yeah, but I want to put it in a video in a specific kind of way.
Exactly.
Like it's part of my life. I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it in a specific kind of way.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm very specific.
I mean, I'm so boring. I just do a Q&A.
You're not boring at all.
Oh, I just do a Q&A.
You're not boring.
Well, thank you.
Because your essence is dynamic. That's what's so cool. That's what I admire about you and Trisha so much is that you just can turn on the camera and just be like.
Well, I appreciate that, but like
sparkly.
You are that.
No.
But I struggle because it's like, you know, I grew up, well, I didn't grow up, but like, hell, I was old before YouTube started. But I watched hauls and I watched Q&As and I wanted to do that and I wanted to be part of that. You know, it's like when I started my BookTube channel, you know, I wanted to do book hauls and I wanted to do, you know, readathons and I wanted to be part of something. I've always, all my life, wanted to be part of something because I just never was. I never fit in. I was never right.
Yeah.
And, we were just talking about that. Like, we've gotten some real, like, honest shit off camera.
Yeah.
But, like, I said, we need to talk about it on camera. But we were talking about comments and things that people say. And she looked at me and she goes, oh, my God. Do you want to say what you said about Twitter?
What did I say?
You said, do you ever...
Oh, do you ever type in your own name, like, to Twitter to see what, like, the mean people are saying?
And I looked at her and I go, like, every other day. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard,
but
you know?
Like, I've done it before, and every time I do it, I'm like, why are you doing this? You know what's going to come from this. It's like... The
thing is, and I was saying this to you earlier, because I didn't realize how much you have a hard time with the negative comments. Mm-hmm. For some reason, they just... I'm not going to say they don't get to me. Mm-hmm. Like, when we were talking about, you said, it's the intellectual criticism that bothers you.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. Because I think we all need a point of reference and things. I mean, we're ever growing, right? But like the really hard comments, like you were talking about in the last video, they don't hurt me as much anymore because that's really more about them than it is about me.
Exactly.
And I love when you said that in your video that you just did. God, there was something that you said that I wanted to talk about with that video. But the thing that's hard is, and I said this to you, you know, it's like that. You can get 1,000 glowing comments, but that one, if it happens at the right time, it's like, it just puts you off for the rest of the day.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read this, anyways.
You read what?
I just read this comment, and then I went and hung out with, like, YouTubers, and it takes, like, time to even be able to shake it off.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
But then that's where you have to think about the people out there that do love you.
Exactly. And Exactly. You have to choose what you pour your energy into. And my urge when I read stuff like that is like, to just hide again, to not do anything, to not be stagnant, to not be seen. And I can't do that. And I can't let fear hold me back from expressing myself in a way that I feel I have to do. So.
Well, fear can be constraining or motivating, depending. You know, I live from a point of fear, but today I look at it as taking challenges and taking risks.
Well, yeah, well, I feel like that's overcoming fear, because like for me at least, fear would make me not do things, not reach out, you know.
Yeah, which you did. I'm so happy that you did.
Yeah,
she wasn't going to reach out to anybody. I was like, Emilia, you're in LA once. Go do this. Okay, when we were talking on the phone, I said, what's off topic? What can I talk about? And you said there's nothing that's off topic.
Yeah.
What is something that you rarely talk about on videos that you probably should talk about more? That's a huge like part of what made you you.
Well, there's stuff like with my family that I won't let myself talk about. Because I don't want to ever, I can only talk about my experience, right? So I don't want to, but there's things that like I've been through, like things that my family has been through that have really affected me, but I won't let myself talk about because it's not fair to them.
It's not your story.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, I get that. What is like something that you've talked about on video that got more of it, got more attention than you ever thought it would? Like something that you've shared, like in a confessions video or something where you're like, that's not the one I thought people would go for.
Oh, well, talking about being molested.
Okay.
I made a video about being molested like a long time ago, and I didn't really expect anyone to see it. Like, obviously I'm putting it out there,
right.
But at the time, I think I had like a few thousand subscribers, and I just wasn't thinking, I don't know, whatever, long term or anything. So a lot more people have seen that now, which is a little bit weird.
Have you thought about privatizing it?
No.
So you're happy that it's out there?
Yeah, because I had to do it. So.
No, it's cathartic for you.
Yeah.
How many messages, comments from people have you gotten that have said, thank you for sharing your story, it helped me?
Yeah, especially about that. Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what it's all about, I think.
Yeah, because probably if I would have seen something like that when I was more in what was happening, it might have like positively affected stuff moving forward.
Was that a hard video for you to film?
Yeah, even harder to edit. It was like
watching it back.
Yeah.
Is it still hard for you thinking about it?
Yeah, because I haven't fully come to terms with a lot of stuff surrounding that. Well,
you talk to me a lot about being in therapy.
Yeah, and I have this like demon voice in my mind that kind of came out around that topic and what happened. So hearing that when I was editing, that demon voice coming up being like trying to get me to stop talking about it was gross.
Yeah.
To see.
That's interesting. Would you have done it differently now, looking back on it?
No.
So it happened the way it was supposed to happen at that time?
100%, yeah. I do feel weird because, well, I can't even get into it, but yeah, I can't get into it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is there anything else that you've put out there, like in one of the things, and that received, like with Trisha's fans, do you ever get like any of like Trishy's fishies that come and they like don't get your gig at all, and they kind of are like, you're really hurtful to her and you need to back up, or anything like that?
There was a lot of people on the video that I just posted that are saying like, of course Trisha Paytas doesn't want to meet you, she doesn't owe you anything, you're so creepy, like this is like really inconsiderate to do to her.
So explain what it is about Trisha for you.
Yeah.
Because that was, we agreed to talk about Shane, we agreed to talk about Trisha, so talk about Trisha.
To me, she is like, I don't like to think of myself as very highfalutin or even necessarily.
I love that you just use that. Highfalutin.
Highfalutin, or even necessarily like intelligent, but I think like, I do think of like things as art. And to me, Trisha is the coolest, most genius artist that I've ever seen. The most inspiring artist I've ever seen, and seemingly it's so effortless.
Do you think people miss that about her?
Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people, you get it or you don't.
That's kind of you.
Yeah.
Like I said with you, I said it's interesting because people either love you or they don't. It doesn't really matter, do you think?
I'm trying to swallow that pill more now.
I mean, there's always going to be an equal number of people that love you and don't.
Yeah. And I think like, and the truth is, I'm not here to be loved by everyone. I'm not here to be, I don't want to be accepted by everyone. I want to be able to do what I want, and inherently in that, some people aren't going to get it.
That's been a really valuable lesson from you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is that, Peter, not everybody's going to like you.
Yeah.
You're talking to myself. No, that's okay. But then there are a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
That will say to me, you shared the story of recovery and it helped me get sober.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that one person.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's, it means something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've so diligently recently tried to focus my attention on those people, the people that watch because they want to see it. They come there because they want to be there. And that would be what I would say to you about the comments.
You're
you know,
right.
I wouldn't say disregard the intellectual criticism because I think it's important for all of us. You know?
Yeah. I think I have to pick and choose. Like sometimes I'm able to digest it and like take it and move forward with like maybe a shift. And sometimes I just can't let myself even absorb it.
You said in the last video that grieving your dad's passing, I say passing, I don't know what you say, but anyway, was like, that was a journey for you. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that's something that I talk a lot about is my mom's passing and the journey. And
when did your mom die?
my mom passed away in 2008. This May will be 11 years.
Okay.
And honestly, I was numb for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I had stopped going to meetings in recovery for like 4 years. I didn't drink or pick up, which is interesting because one of the things that we have in common is that, well, I'm sober, you don't go to meetings and stuff, but I was asking her because like we've always talked about not using. You don't drink, you don't do anything else. And we were just talking about it and I said, why don't you? And you said,
I don't even know. I was a very heavy drinker for a long time, and then it just came to a point where I was just done. And I don't even fully understand why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do people find that an odd choice?
Yeah. Yeah, my family too, they're like, why? And they've made theories around it.
There always has to be a theory.
I know,
you know?
but I don't know.
Which is interesting because I'm gonna I'm gonna shut this curtain really quick.
I
Hold on a
know.
second.
Maybe we should shift. We should like move it. Like
Okay.
we should.
What?
Okay, there. Oh, sorry.
I may leave all of this in.
You should.
Okay.
Okay.
But we're
It's
back.
still there.
Just leave it. It doesn't matter. You should see this camera. She got the most incredible camera, and it's very nice. And I'm so happy for you that you finally got one.
I know. I don't understand how it works.
I don't know how my
Alexis
camera.
Giselle had to like tell me how to turn it on. I don't know.
I don't know how to use mine either, but I'm happy for you. But I think your phone was fine.
No, it was. It's just. Now I can film outside without having to worry about the wind.
Do you know how many huge YouTubers just use her phone that you would never guess?
I know Tana Mojo.
Does she really?
For vlogging, I think.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are you a Tana fan? Do you follow her?
I'm subscribed to her. I don't watch everything, but
Yeah.
I think she's definitely like magnetic and super funny and pretty smart.
Smarter than people give her credit for. Definitely,
Totally.
yeah. Okay, so like an agenda, but not in a bad way that people think. Like she thinks it through. I think.
Yeah.
So we were talking about why you don't drink or use drugs or anything like that, and which was always interesting to me. And you know, you had said that your family has theories behind why you don't.
Yeah, and I don't, but I don't. Yeah, I don't even fully understand why. I think I was just done.
One of my closest friends, Melissa, she doesn't drink at all.
Yeah.
And I said to her, why don't you? And she said, I did it so much in college that one day I was just done. Like,
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I
Yeah.
did it and then I was done. I also think it's a control thing. Like I don't even like taking Tylenol now. Like I don't want to feel out of control at all.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like I'm very controlling, but I also want to be very, very free at the same time. So.
Do you think people think that's a lie? Like they're like, oh, she's a pothead or she uses acid or...
Probably, yeah. And I mean, I have, but just not anymore.
Okay, so, and that's all part of why you don't today.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it, so I'm like...
You know, it's interesting because when I was drinking back in the day and using drugs and all this kind of stuff, I thought I was so creative. Like I have this I took a class called jazz poetry. And I had this amazing professor in there, and that was what I was using. And I'll never forget, he wrote in one of my poems, he said, don't burn out in a frenzy of creativity like Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix. And, and I think about that sometimes. It's like, I thought that was part of the creative process when it so didn't have to be.
No.
And the clear mind is such, and I remember after that, a friend of mine, this was like when I first started listening to Dave Matthews Band. I know we were talking about people think you're a sellout, but I know people think Dave's a sellout. I'm like, it's just because he got popular. If you get popular, people think you're a sellout. That doesn't mean you're a sellout.
No.
You're worried about being a sellout.
Yeah, I'm worried that coming here and like getting a real camera is gonna like.
Do you know there was a look on your face when I just mentioned that, like you didn't?
Really?
Like.
Because I don't like. I think it's because I am afraid. I don't want to lose myself. Part of even coming here, I felt like, what the fuck? Like I felt like I lost my footing a little bit.
Why did you come here?
I don't even fully. Well, I want to meet YouTubers. Really, like I want to, because I'm so alone in Montreal, which I don't necessarily. I love being lonely. Like there's a lot of comfort for me in that, but I wanted to see what it would be like to feel like I was a part of like a community, I guess. I also I wanted to try something new. I've always been obsessed with pop culture and celebrity, so I've always been fascinated by here since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And
I know I was driving here today. So I came when I was 16, and I don't really remember that trip. And for lots of reasons, like we were just talking about. But and then I came out here 2 weeks ago, and I hadn't been out here since then. And I didn't see the Hollywood sign, and we were gonna go to Runyon and do all that stuff, and we didn't do it. And on the way over here in the Uber, I said to the Uber driver, I said, now which way is the Hollywood sign? And he goes, oh, it's right over there. And I went, oh, I like panicked. I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Me too. When I drove past it, I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a period for me, and I think maybe you stopped it before you got there. Like for me, I would hear everybody say, like big YouTubers, like don't get consumed with the numbers, don't get consumed with the views, don't get consumed with the subscribers, because once you do, you can't, it's like, you can't see it a different way. And so in going into 2019, one of the reasons why I scheduled a trip to come out here was like, I want to meet some people that I've watched for a long time. Love them, hate them. I just want to get to know them better.
Exactly.
And I want to know more about them, which is why I like hopped on a plane and came. I mean, you were the reason I came out here, and I was so excited. And I was like, I just, like, this is what I've always said on my channels. Like when people will say, oh, you've changed so much. I'm like, if you go back to my very first videos, I've said, if I ever met Shane, I'd faint a million faints. And I can remember when he walked up, I just was like, this is surreal. I can't believe this has happened. I mean, for me, it is like a movie star moment, you know?
Yeah.
And I said that to you when I was coming over here. I was like, this is, I mean, like, I just watch you and from afar, but you and I've talked about this, like you in Montreal and me in Indianapolis, it's so disconnected from, and there is a community out here. It's hard. And I too enjoy being alone. Loneliness, I don't think I enjoy so much as you do. I have to say, after having experienced how it is out here, there's almost a piece of me that appreciates it more how I have it.
Me too. That's how I'm feeling. Like I love it here, and I think I've made like the people that I'm meeting are so beautiful, like you included, and then the people who live here too, like are so beautiful, and like I appreciate so much. But at the same time, just the space itself and the energy here, I'm valuing what I have in Montreal even more.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and when I came out here the time before, people were like, are you moving to LA? Are you moving to LA? Are you moving? I mean, even close friends of mine are like, are you going to move to LA? And I'm like, no, but like if I was, let's say 22 and I was a YouTuber, I understand that drive to need to be out here. Yeah. But having been out here at 46, and I don't know that it has anything to do with age. I really don't think it does. No. Having been out here, I miss my dogs. I miss just going out to dinner with my friends and my husband, and I don't want to give that up. Not that I would have to by being out here. Yeah. But there's such a drive and such a business, and I think that to some degree, that's why I was thinking about this the other day, why I am attracted to watching Trisha, and I am attracted to watching Shane, and there's so many people out there that I watch, and I just, because like when you watch your videos, it's about going to Jamba Juice or working out or, you know what I mean? It's not just business all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like, I want to watch have a human
Exactly.
experience.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I said to you is we're talking about like deeper things and whatever. You said that you were a little afraid of, and this is where you said ask anything, but then I'm like, well, should I ask it? You were like, I don't want to take away like the mystique. I don't want to like like demystify what people's impression is, because then they won't understand what I'm trying to do to some degree.
Well, I think in my videos, I mean, there's a part of me that doesn't like to address certain aspects of reality. Part of me doesn't like to address that I'm on YouTube. Part of me doesn't like to, like, I like it to have a surreal quality, which is why, but I don't know.
I'm laughing because I watched your video. So there are so many of your videos that just really powerfully, and I'll message you and be like, this video, girl, I mean, like, seriously, my heart. But the one about the assumptions about me, or the rumors about me video where you flew in and you were in the airport and stuff, and then you like came in the door and you like filmed yourself like coming, like, this is what I so love about YouTube, because it's just such bullshit. Okay?
I know.
It's like, who's holding the camera? No, she came in, she put the camera up.
Right there.
But I love it.
Yeah.
And that's almost kind of like where it's like the Truman Show to some degree.
Yeah.
But people love that.
Well, I like
you embrace it though.
Yeah, I like to like I take my videos seriously, so I like it to have a specific tone.
One of the things I love about you is that I'll say to you something like, I would love to see you do this, and you're like, yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, no, my family, like, it's a running joke that they'll give me idea after idea. It's not that they're bad ideas, but I'm just like, no. And my brother will say, he's like, it's always so fun to just brainstorm with Emilia. And she'll just say, no, and not even give any context, and they'll give me like 30 ideas.
What was the feedback of the video that you did with him?
With my family?
You did one with your brother, right?
Yeah, it was with my whole family. Like,
okay. And he's the one with the sweater and all that.
Yeah. He's my brother-in-law.
Okay.
My actual brother who said that wouldn't be in the video.
Really? Why not?
Why
not?
he doesn't want to be like public at all, which is strange to me, because he's like one of the most good-looking people. Like, it's not that I have a crush on him. Like, I'm gay, and he's my brother.
Thank you for clarifying.
Just to be clear. But no, he looks like Elvis. Like, he's like, and he like, it's like, he loves attention. So I don't fully understand, but yeah, he doesn't want to be.
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, my husband and my best friend, it took them some time to really, you know, and like my best friend, people ask all the time, because she's in my vlogs, like, that we should do a podcast. And she's like, hell no. And I'm like, why not? She's like, I would say one thing and they would come for me, and she's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't care that much, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, I like being in your vlogs, you know, and it's just us, and that's who we are, and whatever. But, you know, like, I think there's a lot of people in my life, like, really, like, I don't think people get this. There's people that are in my life that, like, are some of my dearest, closest friends ever.
Yeah.
That I've known for 20 years in sobriety, that I see every day.
Yeah.
That I've never talked about, and they've never been in one of my videos, because they've asked specifically. Like, they're like, I don't want any connection with the internet.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah, I respect it too.
Because we're just a bunch of attention whores.
Exactly.
I mean,
well, sometimes I say I understand it. Part of me doesn't, because I'm like, but like, why don't you want attention?
well, for me, and like, this is where if you talk about it, people like we were talking about the jealousy thing outside, you know, and I said that there was a moment that I went through where I was like jealous of a friend of mine that got an opportunity on YouTube. But I had to tell him that I was jealous of him because I loved him, and I didn't want the jealousy to come between our friendship, but it was a human response that I had.
Yeah.
Today, I look at that completely differently, in the way that I responded to it, and I acted an ass. I really did. And the way that I responded to that, I wouldn't do the same thing today, but they're human feelings, right? Yeah. And so it's like, you know, for me, a lot of it is about validation and acceptance. Yeah. I'm still that kid that was at the lunchroom in first grade, that was the moment that kids started calling me a homo, and there was a division. I'm still trying to fit in on some level. Even though I hate it, I resist against fitting in. That's where you are like afraid of like they calling you a sellout.
Well, yeah, I think that's a human desire, and I think that I would argue that on every level, every person wants that.
You think so?
Yeah, to a different extreme, 100%. I think that's human.
Or maybe the true egomaniac doesn't even really care.
No, if they're an egomaniac, they want to be accepted.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I think it's a balance.
As far as the criticism and things like that, to somebody out there that wants to start a YouTube channel, what would be some things that you would tell them that you never expected from it?
I don't know. That I never expected. Oh, I guess, well, I didn't expect to be, I think like, when you watch celebrities or you see YouTubers, sometimes it's easy to feel very separate from them and not even think of them, not that you don't think of them as human, but you don't think of them as like a soul like you are. And I think that's something that I'm learning.
That when you walk in a room with them, they're just human beings.
They're just human, and
so
also
true.
like the way that I talk about them, like I think some of the times the way that I have made videos about Trisha has been in response to the videos that she makes, like the performance art aspect that I like cherish about her.
So if you sat down with her like this
Yeah.
and just talked like we've been doing all day,
Yeah.
would it change your videos?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that that's something that not that I would change anything, but I want to be more thoughtful of moving forward. Like we're all just a little soul, and like that's separate from how we're seen.
It's hard, you know, making drama videos, you know, that when you talk to people and you hear the human on the other side, because it's easy to not see somebody as human. And we wonder like how people are keyboard warriors and leave comments until like we've all been in the car with our friend and been like, let me, you know what I'm saying, talking about somebody. It's the same thing. Until you talk to that person, you get to know them as a human being. You see what they're about. You see that they have pain, they have suffering. And then all of a sudden it's like you look at it in a completely different way. And it kind of ruins it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you do it the same way?
Yeah.
And it's hard, you know?
Yeah, it is.
What's something really positive you never expected from all of this?
The people who watch the videos. It's like, yeah, it's like...
The look on, okay, so you posted all the pictures of the people that posted their pictures on Instagram of meeting you at McDonald's. The look on their faces was just like, it was just so joy-filled. And I was like, I love this, that you have that impact.
Well, I think that it's just, I see that I can get bogged down with the criticism, but there's beauty and magic and joy and that I see in these people and that I feel from, like that I met that day and that I feel from them. And that is like, it's a side of the world that I want to try to focus on. Yeah.
What would be something that you would, like for the person out there that watches you, that loves you, if you could really just speak to their soul, like if they were sitting in front of you, like not in a video, not in a, you've thought this video through and how you're going to do it, but if you were literally just sitting there, what would be something that you would want them to get that you have gotten through the journey of being Emilia Fart?
That you should trust yourself and that you should try to be less scared and try to let yourself be more free. Yeah.
You're gonna make me tear up. I just, you know, because I do live from a point of fear, and I think like I see that in you, and I'm like, even just when I see you like, you know, in a mall, like spinning around, I'm like, how does she do this? Like I still have a hard time vlogging in public, you know? But then I think to myself, and this is where I work through it, like life's short.
Yeah.
This isn't a dress rehearsal, you know, and you gotta make the most of it. So I gotta figure out what else I want to ask you. I feel like I know everything there is to know about
I think
at this
you do.
point. Okay, well maybe that's a good point to end. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
I love you.
I love you too. Thanks for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. You can come over and I'll have you again.
Okay, amazing.
Boost!